illustrator. With me tonight are the lovely Katherine Grant-Suttie and actually I'll let them speak for themselves. Katherine, please give yourself a little introduction.
Oh, shit. Hi guys. Voice actor. Like, what do you want me to say? Actor in any medium I can get my hands on. So voice acting for audiobooks of late, as well as video games. And then a little bit of on-camera work, a little bit of on stage, a little bit of stunts, a little bit of mocap. So, like, pick your poison.
Any
Yeah,
cool
that's me.
stuff we would know you from?
I did do some NPC work for Genshin Impact, and I'm working on a game called No Rest for the Wicked. So I think that's their preview is out, and then hopefully they'll be releasing it come April. That's the video game side of things, and then
Did you also work on Halo 5?
I did. That was my first mocap job. That was way back in the day. For my audition, I did a dive roll and picked up a pencil and then stabbed an imaginary adversary. And then the mocap team, like the video game developer teams, like lost their mind. They're like, "Oh my God, we have to have her on this." Whatever. So, yeah, that's me.
That's exciting. Daryl.
Well, hello, everybody. I guess I'm not the lovely Daryl. I'm just Daryl.
You're lovely. You're lovely. You're Daryl Lovely.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I am also a voice actor. On rare occasions, I do stage performance. But for my voice acting stuff, I do primarily audiobooks, but I have dabbled in anime and video games. And as far as video games are concerned, you might see me in one called Corrupt. It's a fighting game with lots of yelling, screaming, and punching. And almost lost my voice doing that one, but it was extreme. And you can catch animes like, Shangri-La Frontier. That's probably the biggest one, and some other stuff on Crunchyroll.
Nice, man. Well, welcome, brother. And I'm so happy to be here with you guys and be able to work on this project. And speaking of which, tonight's book is Requiem of Night by Jay Styles. Jay Styles is an international Latin dancer, not just a performer, but an instructor as well. He's located out of Dallas and travels internationally, but he's also a DJ. Does a lot of that for conventions and clubs and stuff like that. So we're really thrilled to be part of this and kind of delve into this story. By the way, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Requiem of Night, it is a sort of a dark fantasy, a bit of a gritty story, a vampire story. And we get to, and it doesn't follow the traditional out of Europe, but actually delves into more into the origins and playing with African mythology. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really cool. But tonight we're going to get a little bit of a taste. We're going to do one of the first scenes from Requiem of Night from chapter 1. And we're going to basically be giving you the introduction to Styles, the vampire protagonist. So this will be fun. And if we run into any issues, if the sound starts cutting off or anything, let us know. We'll try and figure out something else. We're kind of experimenting with the Instagram Live. None of us have really played with having multiple people like this on Instagram Live, let alone for a book read. So this should be fun and interesting. Thanks for coming along with us. All right. And without further ado, let's, you guys got your scripts ready?
We're ready.
All right.
We're on
I'm going to narrate.
Page 5, top of chapter 1.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. me. All right.
Little flat, man. Little flat.
Right. The streets of Deep Ellum thrummed with an electric chaos, a living heartbeat of music, laughter, and shadow. Neon lights painted the rain-slicked pavement in violet strokes of red, blue, gold, their glow fracturing in the puddles beneath hurried feet. The air was thick with a peculiar tension, a sense of something unseen, coiled tight waiting to spring. Through it all, Styles moved like a phantom, his presence cutting through the noise with an elegance that felt both natural and yet utterly alien. He didn't walk so much as glide, his movements seamless, each step a trick of light and shadow that defied comprehension. For those unlucky enough to glance too long, the truth lingered like a whisper at the edge of their minds. His feet never touched the ground. A breeze wound its way through the narrow streets, damp and cold, but it veered away from him as though repelled by his presence. The crowd parted subtly in his wake, driven by an unconscious instinct to avoid what they could not name. A young woman near a bar's entrance caught sight of him and froze mid-laugh, her amusement melting into something far more uncertain. Her gaze locked on his, a collision of curiosity and unease. She should have looked away, yet she couldn't. Something about him pulled her in, a gravity that defied the logic of fear. The flickering neon caught his sharp features, tracing the line of his jaw, the glint of his eyes. A beauty too precise, too devastating to be human. His suit shimmered faintly under the fractured light, tailored perfection, masking a predator's restraint. As he passed, the world seemed to recalibrate around him. Shadows stretched unnaturally, pulling in the corners they hadn't occupied moments before, rippling behind him as though alive. For a heartbeat, the world was quiet. Then a single thought reverberated through the woman's mind. Run. But it was already too late.
Hi,
She said, her voice soft, almost tentative, as though breaking the silence around him felt forbidden. Her breath hitched, and she laughed nervously, the sound brittle against the night's weight.
I don't think I've seen you here before.
Styles paused, turning to her with the measured grace of a predator who had all the time in the world. His smile unfurled slowly, deliberately, a curve of his lips that revealed nothing but hinted at everything.
Perhaps you weren't meant to see me until now,
He said, his voice low and velvety, a sound that seemed to resonate in the air around them.
Sometimes the night hides its treasures until it decides you're ready.
Her breath fogged in the chill air as she gazed up at him. The world around them seemed quite further, the pounding music and laughter from the streets fading to a distant hum. She tilted her head slightly, her curiosity overriding her unease.
You're different.
She murmured, the words slipping free before she could stop them. He tilted his head in response, his eyes catching the faint glow of the neon above. For a moment, she thought she saw something flicker within them, a subtle golden pulse that was gone as quickly as it appeared. It sent a ripple of something, fear, fascination, or both, skittering down her spine.
Different.
He echoed, his tone neither confirming nor denying, but inviting her to elaborate. She swallowed, her pulse quickening.
I don't know. It's like you don't quite belong here. Like you're too perfect to be real, but not in a way that feels safe.
His smile deepened, his fangs catching the faint glint of light.
Isn't that what makes the night worth wandering? To find something, or someone, unexpected.
Her heart raced, the cadence pounding in her ears as the shadows around them seemed to stretch closer, drawn to his presence.
I don't know if it's that.
She admitted, her voice barely above a whisper.
It's like the air changes around you, like it's heavier, colder, and I can't feel if it's drawing me in or warning me to stay away.
A faint sound emanated from the shadows behind him, a low, almost imperceptible hum that seemed to vibrate in the air. The street lights flickered once, then twice, plunging their corner into a brief, stuttering darkness. Her breath hitched as his gaze locked onto hers again, his eyes reflecting the faint, eerie light of the moon like liquid gold.
Do you feel it?
He asked, stepping closer, his voice a mesmerizing thread that wove through her thoughts.
The way the night holds its breath, as though it knows something is coming.
She nodded slowly, unable to look away, her voice caught somewhere between wonder and fear.
Yes. It's like it's alive.
He raised a hand, brushing it along her arm, and the chill that radiated from his touch wasn't natural. It was too much, too overwhelming, sending a surge of euphoria through her body that made her knees weaken. She gasped softly, her body betraying her with a shiver that wasn't entirely from the cold.
Breathe.
He murmured, his words wrapping around her like a velvet ribbon, soft and commanding all at once. The edges of her vision blurred as the world shrank to his voice, his touch, his presence.
Let the night claim you.
Her lips parted, but no words came, only a soft exhale that seemed to carry her surrender. As he leaned in, the faint flicker in his eyes pulsed once more, and his lips brushed against her neck. When his fangs pierced her skin, the sharp pain melted almost instantly into a wave of bliss so exquisite it left her trembling. The blood that flowed was intoxicating, vibrant, alive, imbued with something more than mortal life, something that hummed with the magic of the moment. The shadows around him seemed to ripple, reaching outward like black tendrils, feeding alongside him in a symphony of hunger and darkness. The world tilted, a dreamlike haze enveloping her as her thoughts faded into nothingness. When he finally pulled back, her head lolled slightly, a serene smile curving her lips. Her eyes shimmered with dazed wonder as she whispered,
That was incredible. Like a dream.
Styles smiled darkly, a glimmer of sharp amusement in his gaze.
Perhaps it was. And dreams, my dear, are best left to the night.
The neon lights buzzed faintly as Styles stepped away, his figure blending seamlessly into the crowd. The shadows seemed reluctant to let him go, curling around his feet like sentinel tendrils, dissolving into the air with a sigh. The faint scent of ozone lingered in his wake, a subtle electric reminder of the god that claimed him. Styles's thoughts drifted as he walked, his footsteps, or rather the illusion of them, soundless against the wet pavement. He didn't need to look back to know that the woman would remember nothing more than a fleeting dream, a hazy, golden moment of bliss. That was the gift of Impundalu, a god as ancient as the storms, as relentless as the fire. The world had changed 1,000 times over since its first marked him, but its power remained, a primal force that coursed through him unyielding and eternal. As he rounded a corner, leaving the glow of neon for the quiet, shadowy stretch of a side street, his connection to Impundulu stirred, a pulse of heat beneath his skin. The god was always there, whispering in the back of his mind, reminding him of his purpose. It wasn't blood that sustained him. It was the ritual, the offering, the unspoken pact between vessel and deity. Without it, he would wither, his strength reduced to a pale echo of what it should be. He glanced upward at the night sky, the moon hanging heavy and full, its light fractured by the haze of the city.
The moon always watches.
He thought, a faint smile touching his lips. These celestial nights were sacred, the air thick with energy that humans could never sense, but that he drank in like wine. Feeding outside these cycles was a waste, like trying to draw power from a dying ember. Only when the heavens aligned did the blood become something more, something worthy of the god that made him. For 300 years, he hadn't set foot on the earth. It was a reminder of what he was, untethered, untouchable. The mortal world beneath him the mortal world moved beneath him, yet he remained above it, an observer, a predator, and a force. The shadows seemed to ripple around him, bending to his will as he stepped into them, disappearing from sight like smoke, vanishing into the wind. And that's where we're going to end our read for tonight, folks. This has just been a little bit of a taste, a little glimmer into the Requiem of Night series, and hope you enjoyed it all. I was trying to see if there were any comments or anything. What'd you guys think? Did you guys enjoy that?
I'm seeing lots of fire and hearts and 100s. Daryl,
Nice.
I've never heard your voice like that before, and it was so lovely.
Thank you. That's why I do a lot of these romance books too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of those.
Yeah. Oh, that was great, guys. And
Nice.
wow, being able to read, I would have like screwed up so many times, cursed a couple of times. Like, dang it, why can't I get this sentence right? That was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. We had I had a couple hiccups there. I'm like,
Sure.
Cottonmouth. Oh, no.
So when do we think ballpark that this audiobook might be ready to go for hi Jay this audiobook might be ready to go for listening pleasure?
Oh, good question. I would probably say within the month.
Okay, cool.
Within a month's time period. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. It takes understand, folks, it takes a long time to record, edit, and master a audiobook, especially one of this caliber. So I'm hoping to have it done within the month.
Cool.
So
Yep.
hopefully not, if not sooner. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But anyway. Well, folks, that's all we have for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for stopping in and giving us a few moments of your time and allowing us to share our story with you. So,
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.
See ya. Good night, folks.